guys, welcome to my channel. It's Emily. Today we are finally doing episode 1 of my podcast.
The Kaleidoscope Podcast!
The Kaleidoscope Podcast! So, what is... First off, this is very delayed. I might have been on bed rest. I had a tumor removed, and I had surgery.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't do anything, and it was...
Crazy.
It sucked. I was also on very weird meds. So.
Yeah.
That was an adventure. Anyway, it's over with. I'm good. So, where am I?
You're in California. You're in my bedroom.
I'm at my fiance's house.
Yeah!
My fiance.
Finally.
Yes. So, today we have an important podcast.
Yes.
This had to be episode 1 of my podcast because
This is literally the whole
reason why we made this
reason
podcast.
why we're doing this. And this is going to be the whole theme.
This is going to be the theme of today's episode, at least.
No, like the whole theme.
Well, yeah, but I'm also going to have random podcasts. So, we're just going to... It's going to be about this and also just our lives. So, anyway, this is episode 1. What is episode 1's topic?
Turner syndrome and bleeding disorders.
Woohoo! Turner syndrome. So, we have something in common here. In this room. The two of us
We both have
Turner syndrome. Wow! So, what does that mean for us?
So, I have mosaic Turner syndrome.
Me too!
I have specifically one cell mosaicism. So, one of 20 cells was found to have a small portion of the secondary sex chromosome on the 45th cell line. So Turner syndrome is defined as anybody living with a 45X cell line. So this can look like a complete or partial deletion. Turner syndrome, contrary to popular belief, can also affect males very rarely, where they have a partial Y, and so they come out with looking like a boy and having M put on their birth certificate. And then for some people, like Emily, this affects them in the form of male material in the ovaries.
Places that they shouldn't be.
Yeah, in places it shouldn't be. And
So, I had male material in my ovaries, and at the age of 5, they were removed because they had cancer.
Yeah. The scary C word.
Which, you obviously don't want in general, so, those kind of had to leave. They were empty anyway, so, sadness, despair. Sorry. So, anyway. So, that means, because my mosaicism.
You have Y cell mosaicism.
I do. I have the bottom of the Y.
Yeah.
Woo.
The very tiny bottom
The stick of the Y.
Yeah.
Wowie zowie! Okay, so. First question is, when were you diagnosed with Turner syndrome?
I was diagnosed at 17 months, but the story I've always been told is that at 6 months my mom started advocating because my heart stopped and I would stop breathing. But unfortunately, by the time I was diagnosed, I was being rushed into heart surgery. Very unexpectedly being rushed into heart surgery. I believe I had my heart surgery at Sutter. And
Why did you need heart surgery?
Because I had a vascular ring. So I had a vascular ring repair. I have like a lot of scar tissue in my heart as well. And on my back, they went in through my back.
Which I thought was really cool, because I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah.
Especially since you were so small.
I was so tiny.
You were tiny babies. I have pictures in the NICU of me the day I was born. They were so cute.
I was born on Christmas, so I have these
You were born on around Christmas.
I was born on Christmas. So I have these pictures of me next to a wooden stirring spoon in a stocking.
You were just like
I was
born.
tiny.
You were born around Christmas. Yeah.
I was born 4 pounds, and I don't know how tall I was, but I was born at 4 pounds.
I think I was 3. 4 3.
You were 23 weeks.
Yeah, I was early. Yeah, I was supposed to be born.
Late.
I was supposed to be born in August,
Yeah.
September-ish era. I was born in June.
I was supposed to be born in early December. I ended up being born in
Yeah, you were late to your own eviction.
I was literally late to my own eviction. I was a C-section baby, and I was a week late to my own C-section.
Well, that's funny because I'm a twin and I was not on a C-section. Which is why I came out early, because I was a twin.
Yeah.
So.
I always tell people, if that doesn't tell you anything about my personality, I don't know what will. I don't know what else to tell you to be like, this is who I am, this is what I'm like.
So, I was diagnosed at 9 weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom knew something was wrong. Like, she could tell something was off
as soon as the ultrasound pictures.
Like, when my ultrasounds. But, like, did anybody listen to her? No. So.
We're both examples of nobody ever listens to the mothers.
So, at 9 weeks old, probably also when it was too late. I don't know why I got diagnosed. But what enticed, mom to go, feral in Mama Tiger mode.
Right.
But I was diagnosed at 9 weeks, so earlier than you.
Way earlier than me. Yeah.
That also was probably because I was, spontaneously combusting.
I was also spontaneously combusting. But for me, they were looking for either Down syndrome or the George syndrome. So trisomy 21 or 22q.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for me too.
Yeah.
So it looks kind of similar
to
Turner.
Yeah, at least the symptoms and features. The reason they looked for the George syndrome for me was because of the heart defect. My specific heart defect, rather. And the vascular ring. Yeah. Yes. What for you enticed them to look for not just Turner syndrome? I mean, other than just like differential diagnoses, ruling out.
I probably think it's probably just the ruling out.
Just ruling out differential diagnoses.
My mom thought I had Down syndrome.
My mom was convinced I had Down syndrome. My mom swore to it. Well, not swore to it, but she thought I had it. Because
I was very small compared to my twin sister Abby. She's also a whole foot taller than me. But I'm also a whole foot taller than you, basically.
She's not 6.
She's
not 6 feet.
5'7".
Yeah, that's not a foot taller.
I said that's why I said like. She's a foot taller than me. She's really tall. Mm-hmm. Ren is tall too.
All of my family is over 6 feet.
And I'm taller than her. I beat her in the Turner syndrome height game.
Yeah. We both did growth hormones, and I'm 4'4", and Emily's 5'2".
No, I'm 5'1".
5'1".
Yeah. 5'1". Well, your growth hormone didn't work.
I did it for a while, and then I had heart surgery. So my parents basically said, this is too much.
Yeah, for me, I hated it. Especially when my dad had to do it. I always had it on my legs.
Ugh.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I liked it because then eventually I got the pen.
Yeah.
And I was more,
independent
because you could just, dial the dosage. And, in the early days, they dialed the dosage for me, but soon enough, I was able to dial the dosage and do it myself.
Yeah.
There were some things that enticed me learning how to do it on my own, but that's for another podcast. That's for another podcast. So anyway, that's for another video. So yeah, we both did growth hormones. Unfortunately for you, they didn't work. I'm sorry. So
I mean,
I went on the hike game, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I can carry her. So. and bite me.
Oh God.
So, this leads us on to the next topic of Turner syndrome.
Which is, what do you look for?
What do you
What do you look for
with Turners? What are some characteristics?
So, some common characteristics are web neck, low hairline, curved fingers, and edema. So basically that's like just swelling pretty much. So lymphedema is like your limbs swelling. A lot of people with Turner syndrome have really, really swollen feet.
I had swollen feet as a
When
baby.
you were born.
Yeah.
I didn't, I don't think.
So there are, well, hey, stop that. There are some common health complications.
Yeah.
But the main thing you can look for with Turner syndrome that sticks out is short stature,
Short stature,
webbed neck, low set ears.
low set ears. Yeah, you can see on us we have kind of like short necks and then lower set ears.
I finally grew into my ears.
And then you can see the hairline. My hairline goes to right here.
Mine too. Mine goes up to here.
We both have similar hairline.
Mine goes up
But
to here.
her hairline goes over here in the front, and mine is so bad I have to have bangs.
I have like 3 colics though, so come at me.
I have calyx too.
I have 3 of them then.
I have 3 too.
So anyway,
We're arguing, guys. Ignore us.
like a married couple already. So, we already went through that. So there are some issues that comes with Turner syndrome.
Many
complications. Basically everything about you, if you have Turner syndrome, is just effed up. Like, you're screwed. I'm sorry, I love you guys, but if you have Turner syndrome, we're screwed. You're screwed. So,
sorry, bro.
the most thing that the thing that I struggle with mentally the most is reproductive and developmental features.
Yes.
For me, as I previously mentioned, I don't have ovaries.
Yeah.
They were empty as well. And so other than that, I have a bunch of other complications that we'll get into, like heart defects and stuff, and bleeding stuff, which is part of also
Turner syndrome.
You comfy there?
Yeah.
Bleeding yes. Bleeding disorder. We can't conceive on our own.
No.
We can't have our own babies.
So adoption's our option.
Yeah, or surrogacy.
Well, for me, my OB-GYN said that during a surgery that they saw signs of potential ovulation, but I wouldn't be able to carry the baby if the girl stuff was like reliable and could actually reproduce.
Work. Like if it worked, like if it worked for us, we wouldn't be able to.
I'm not sure I wouldn't be able to carry the baby, but I'm not sure the eggs would be viable.
Our pregnancies would be very high risk.
Yeah, because I would bleed too badly.
Same here. My heart wouldn't be able to handle it either.
Yeah, my heart would be okay. I just wouldn't be able to not bleed to death.
And also, I really like sushi.
I cannot eat raw fish. I do not eat raw fish.
I love sushi, and I love sandwiches. So like,
I don't eat it for religious reasons.
I love sandwiches. So.
I mean, besides even just like the risks.
Yeah.
I don't eat it for religious reasons.
So common health complications other than not being able to reproduce or make your own estrogen. A lot of us need hormone replacement therapy, which some people, the government, are taking it away.
Mm-hmm.
So
thanks, USA.
So we're screwed.
But
because sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
If we don't have our estrogen, we risk cancer, osteoporosis, high thyroid issues, all this kinds of
All
stuff.
that stuff. So for me, if I don't have my birth control, I will literally bleed to death.
She will.
It's
happened.
And it's happened because my birth control got taken away.
Me too.
Yeah. And so I ended up having blood transfusion. I ended up being in the hospital for weeks.
Like, she was life-flighted.
I was life-flighted. Yeah, it was so bad.
Helicopter.
We love helicopters. But, so I use it to stop myself from bleeding so bad and, like, kind of start and stop periods.
Me too.
Because if I don't manually start and stop periods, then
We'll explode.
I'm just gonna bleed out everywhere. Within like 2 months.
And so yeah, we don't want that. That's not very skibbity.
No.
So I have brittle bone disease. Well, I had it. We don't know for sure if I still have it.
You broke 2 bones in like the last year. I think you still have it.
Mine was a pathological fracture due to the tumor. I don't count that, but yes.
I do count it.
Well, yes, and I've broken so many bones.
That's what I'm saying.
We both need bone density scans in the next few years or so.
I'm getting a bone density scan soon.
To figure out how dense our bones are and if my bones are brittle.
It's recommended in early adulthood in Turner syndrome.
Yes, it is. So, that finally leads us to our next thing, which is common health complications. For me, I have some of the more scary complications.
Yeah.
Like, pretty scary.
Very
the number one fatality reason for Turner syndrome, well, first off, we have 1% chance of making it to birth.
2%.
1 to 2% chance of
making it to birth.
Making it to birth. Our odds weren't very good in our favor.
They weren't in our favor.
So, but the number one thing
is aortic tear.
Is a aortic aneurysm.
That is what kills people with Turner syndrome the most. That's the
most common Turner syndrome killer.
That's the most common.
I have, it literally says aortic aneurysm right there.
Yeah, aortic aneurysm.
So I have a bicuspid aortic valve.
Yeah.
I have aortic valve stenosis, which
you'll need a valve replacement in the future.
I will eventually need a valve replacement.
Yeah.
But right now,
I'll be
knock
there
on
for
wood.
It. I'll be there.
I've been stable, but I also have like a couple other things. Like I have congenital heart defects.
Me too. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not very good. But we also have autoimmune disorders. Like I've been tested for celiac because of my stomach issues, and there's hypothyroidism, and then bringing back the skeletal things, which is osteoporosis, scoliosis. I have scoliosis, and deformities of the wrist, because that's where your growth plates are.
I have not real scoliosis, but my fingers and toes bend, and my arm is bent. Or my arms are bent.
We both have hypermobility.
We both have hypermobility. I have heart, lung, kidney disease, failure to thrive. I'm a 2B. I have POTS.
Me too.
And then a blood disorder. And I have an autoimmune issue, which is the same gene. So the same gene that is mutated to cause Behçet's is mutated in me, and it causes eczema or severe psoriasis.
Yes.
So, like, my scalp gets really itchy and bloody, and so do my hands and everything.
Just a friendly reminder, it's trash night.
You
want me to grab that?
So my hands and everything get all bloody, but that's also due to the blood disorder as well.
Yeah. In my case, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm just immunocompromised in general.
Yeah, I'm also immunocompromised.
I have asthma, seasonal asthma. It's not good in the winter. I sound like a seal.
My bronchs are very small,
Yeah.
so I physically cannot get a lot of air into my lungs.
I think you should get that fixed, bro.
You can't get it fixed.
Ugh.
They can't just like grow your bronchs. That's a birth defect.
They can't. Anyway.
They can't stretch my bronchs.
Anyway. So
I have asthma, severe asthma.
So this is something that I relate to, which is they say neurocongenitive, which is neurocongenitive, which I relate to a lot because I have like every learning disorder out there.
I have learning disabilities as well.
But with nonverbal communication, I have nonverbal learning disorder, which is very common in Turner syndrome. Visuospatial tags. I have no peripheral vision, essentially.
No peripheral vision. No
I walk
depth
into walls.
perception.
Yeah, I walk into walls.
Yeah.
I do. In the corners, in the walls, into doors. Yeah. So, also, social anxiety. I've gotten a lot better with that, though.
Yes, you have.
Especially since I'm an employed person now.
We
And I
love
have
having
to-
a job.
I have to interact with people.
We love having a job.
But, I have dyslexia, dyscalculia, ADHD, sensory processing disorder, nonverbal learning disorder. I have everything when it comes to learning.
I have sensory processing disorder. But I'm self-diagnosed with that. I definitely have some form of dyscalculia. I don't know what learning disabilities I'm formally diagnosed with. I have no clue.
ADHD?
Yeah, I have a little bit of ADHD.
I had such bad ADHD as a kid that I literally, my preschool teacher forced my pediatrician to help me get diagnosed before it was required.
Right.
Because you had to do it around like first grade. I did it when I was 4.
I was so bad that the school begged my parents to put me on medication when I was like 4 or 5 as well. And I was put on Abilify to like help me sleep and stuff.
I was on Vyvanse.
And like kind of calm me down, whatever. I became really suicidal.
At the age of what, like 5?
5. Yeah, I became extremely suicidal. That medication almost killed me.
At the age of 5, guys.
Yeah, at the age of 5. But that was for my behaviors. Because they're like, Shaharah is too hyper in the classroom. What my kindergarten teacher tried to diagnose me with oppositional defiance disorder. I do not have that, by the way.
So yeah, basically that is Turner syndrome.
Yeah.
Which leads us to our next topic.
Bleeding disorders.
Holy shiz. Holy shiz, guys. So,
Just that, me looking freaky.
I'm gonna start with my bleeding disorder because it's not as interesting as yours.
It's more interesting to me. Yours is more interesting in my opinion.
So, we actually kind of are the opposite here when it comes to our Turners. And with our
Yay.
bleeding disorders. We're like
we're
opposite.
the opposite.
Oh, there's one more thing we forgot to mention.
Oh?
What happens to our ears?
Oh, ear infections. I had an eardrum that decided to rupture, and I almost had to have surgery to repair it. But I had ear surgeries a lot as a kid, like there was almost a year where we were going back to back surgeries every month or two, every couple months at least.
We have narrow
Ear
ear
repairs.
canals,
Yeah.
ear canals, which causes lots of ear infections. I had so many as a kid.
Yeah.
I
me too.
almost got ear tubes, but I didn't.
I got so many pairs of ear tubes, I can't even count anymore.
But
That and the ear repairs, like the repair on my ear.
But we both are considered deaf.
We're both deaf.
She's more deaf. Like, she's deaf.
I have moderate hearing loss.
I have mild to moderate, so my hearing loss is not as significant as hers. Like, she's completely deaf. And, like, what, your right ear?
The one with the hole in it
It's
is
your right.
worse, yeah.
My right ear's worse, too. So, for us, we have to use hearing aids. These are mine. They're very cute and aesthetic. I put stickers on them, and because if you know me, IRL, you know that I like to have a little sparkle. Hers are different.
These are mine.
Hers are different. Hers are batteries. Mine are chargeable.
Mine are batteries, so you open the little battery back right there.
And hers are customized.
And mine are custom molds. And then I have the wiring. Yeah.
I've been on her about wearing them. She doesn't like to wear them. I can't live without mine.
I cannot function with my hearing aids in. The hearing world is not for me.
I cannot function without my hearing aids.
The hearing world is not for me, Pookie.
It's for me because I have no awareness of what's going around me as is.
I have 0 out of 10 would recommend for hearing aids.
I recommend them 10 out of 10. But anyway,
bleeding disorders.
bleeding disorders. So I have a clotting disorder,
Yes.
which is so rare. It doesn't even have a name.
Yeah.
And probably could be the only one that has it. We don't know. I would like to know somebody else who has it, but I wouldn't know because it doesn't have a name. So, anybody out there? So, we're gonna go dive deep here, guys.
Deep dive.
Deep dive. Oh,
I dropped the battery.
yeah, let's
Just
not.
keep going.
So dive deep with me, and we're gonna tell what happens when you mix blood disorders and Turner syndrome. So, I have a clotting disorder. How did we find this out? So, I was an even 1 years old, and I had esophageal varices, which are varicose veins. I don't know what varicose means. I don't remember. Varicose. Let me Google varicose real quick.
For context, Emily has atriovenal malformation.
Yeah, I have. What did you say?
Atriovenal malformation.
Oh, yeah.
AVM.
I have AVM. So, varicose veins.
Which is common in Turner syndrome, the varicose veins.
Swollen and twisted veins that are enlarged and typically blue and purple develop near the skin. This is not true. It develops everywhere, not just the legs. But, anyway, I had varicose veins in the esophagus. I still have varices. I still have esophageal varices, which is scary to me. So, what happens when you have a varice? Well, mine ruptured. And so here we have a less than 1 year old projectile, just blood everywhere. It's so bad. And obviously, your infant's, bleeding out on your floor. What do you do? And so I also had multiple bowel obstructions due to this. So I had multiple bowel obstruction repairs.
Yeah.
Which I'm scared that's gonna happen sometime. Anyway, so because of the varicose veins, I have portal hypertension, which is when the portal vein in your liver fails. It stops working. Portal vein thrombosis. Thrombosis is when I don't remember. Thrombosis is when a blood clot inside a vessel is obstructing blood flow. That's perfect. So, I had a blood clot in my liver, and I went into liver failure as a baby. And it was really scary. So, I had 5 or 6 surgeries to try to repair this. Some guy, I'm not gonna name this doctor, but he was amazing. He did 4 out of 5 surgeries. He had to have a student do it because he ruptured one of the ligaments in the back of his ankle, the big one.
Mm-hmm.
He ruptured his Achilles, which doesn't sound very pleasant. And he did one of my surgeries sitting down on a stool.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was this one time my mom cornered him in the elevator and was like, I want to go home. So anyway, he put what's called a mesocaval shunt in my liver. Long word. It's basically essentially a fake vein that is stented open.
It keeps it open.
Yeah,
Your liver
it's with
open.
Gore-Tex, which is a piece of, like... Gore-Tex is, like, rubbery, I think?
Yeah.
It's rubbery. So, it's stented open with Gore-Tex. So, I have this shunt that works. And when I was little, I heard it as music cable shunt. So, I thought it played music. Because I was a nerd.
You were a baby.
I was a kid. So, I think I told my friends that I played music at one point.
That's such a little Emily thing to do, bro.
But, like, it
That's
needs some
such a
cable
little
shunt.
Emily thing.
So, yeah, so I have a shunt in my liver for it to work, and if that fails, then I'm fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cause
Pretty much.
I love my doctor who did my surgeries, but he's getting old, and I'm scared. Anyway, like he's gonna be in his 80s now.
Damn.
I was one of his first patients.
Aw.
I wonder if he remembers me. But anyway, yes. So, fast forward to 2019. This could have been the first few signs, yes, that I had an intravenous malformation, which is when your veins are twisty, per se.
Basically.
Yeah,
kind of,
twisty.
yeah.
So,
But
In my-
that's what caused the stenosis.
yes. So,
And potentially.
So, I had bad, coleslaw.
Yes.
I had bad coleslaw. It was the cabbage.
Yeah.
And I had E. coli. I got contact with E. coli and also
Mhm.
C. diff.
Yeah, and C. diff. You had C. diff.
But it took 6 or 7 hospital ER trips. I almost got my appendix taken out during this time.
You've gotten your appendix almost taken out multiple times since then too. But yeah, no, at that time, yeah.
Like they scheduled me for surgery in the morning, and they were like, if you don't get better, you're having surgery in the morning. And
Yeah.
I didn't get my appendix taken out, although they probably should at this point. So they can just like stop accusing
so they
it.
can't stop it, yeah.
So they can just be like, have you, and like, anyway, so
Yeah, no, it's
so they won't always ask me, have you had your appendix taken out, sweetie? My mom thinks it's because I have coils from the shunt that have migrated to my spleen, which cause scar tissue. Which causes things to go wrong in my digestive stuff.
Yeah.
So I was in the hospital in isolation for like a week, and they were like when they finally saw that there was something wrong, they're like, oh, we messed up, and they're like, you're gonna go upstairs. I had an NG tube forced out. Oh my god, it was so bad. So, and this was a continuous thing, not the E. coli and the C. diff, but I would get pains here on my right lower side and on my left side. Both sides.
You were on my hair.
Oh, sorry. Both sides. Here and here. Where it would wake me up in the middle of the night and I would be screaming.
It would be so bad.
And I'd be hurling and screaming and hurling and screaming. And what do? It's like 3 in the morning 911 emergency.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
essentially, this went on until actually this year I finally got a diagnosis. Took long enough. Like I had multiple feeding tubes,
Yeah.
multiple scopes, multiple all this stuff. And the doctors accused my mom of having what's it called?
Munchausen
by proxy.
Both of our parents have
Yes.
been accused of Munchausen's, by the way.
Like they called CPS.
No, they called CPS for me too, on my parents.
Like
Yeah.
my mom was like, there's literally something wrong with my daughter. Like I had MRIs, I had.
By the way, my parents have never made anything up medically.
Me either. She was too busy
Ever.
trying to keep me alive.
My parents too. They were too. Our parents were both all too busy
Keeping us alive.
to make anything up.
Yeah. So anyway, so when this happens, it's not fun.
No.
So I had all kinds of tests. Like I'm probably radioactive by now. Like I got tested for celiac, Crohn's, any stomach disorder, anything you can think of, they tested for.
Yeah.
They're like, there's nothing wrong with your daughter. And they were like, at one point, the Children's Hospital, the one that I was currently going to, the one in New York, was like, the next time your daughter comes, we're not doing anything. So, you know, that was about time that we were like, yeah, F this.
Yeah, we're out.
We're going to a different hospital. And so I went to a different hospital. This was this was like a week after my ankle reconstruction surgery. I was on crutches in a cast, admitted to the hospital for my stomach.
Yeah.
I had a very minor bleed. I should talk about my serious bleed. We're gonna get to that in a moment, but we're gonna talk about my more minor one first. Other than my major one. My major one's very traumatic for me. My minor bleed happened. I threw up a little bit of blood. It was actually a complication from a scope. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to be like, okay, this isn't something we want to see. Especially, you know, having the same day as a procedure. So we're gonna waltz on to the hospital. So I went to a new hospital, which this is my current new main ER. So for anything that happens, unless it's like something that I can go to urgent care for. So they were like, so like, yeah, you're positive for bleeding, and you're looking pretty anemic, not transfusible, but like, we're admitting you. And they're like, oh, by the way, you have like no potassium in your system. So they gave me a potassium infusion. Transfusion. They
No,
gave
infusion.
infusion.
It's
They
not
gave me a potassium infusion, which that was intense. Like I felt it through the bone. Like it was going through my IV and I could feel it go in my bone.
Yeah, it's intense.
And so like I had to breathe through that. I was like
Yeah, it's always intense, the potassium infusions.
And so like, but other than that, and they scoped me, and I am a crier when I come out of anesthesia. I'm a fighter and a crier. So, I was sobbing as is, and then my doctor came in and she's like, we found what's wrong with you, and I'm just like, I was sobbing, and like the nurse was at the desk, and she's like, it's okay. Like she was across the desk, across from me at the desk, like checking on other patients. She's like, you're okay, and I'm just like. It was so funny. It was so funny, and I was alone for this. It was my first time getting a surgery alone. It was so funny. And so this is the last thing I'm gonna mention about my bleeding disorder, and it's gonna be her turn. Because I've been yapping for a moment here, but 2 summers ago, this is actually right around the time we met.
This was when we met.
This is when we met.
This was literally when we met.
It was like a week before we met.
Yeah.
Like I had just got out of the hospital.
Days before we met.
It was like days after I got out of the hospital. Like we met. Anyway, so it was literally, it happened so randomly. So what happened was 2 days after my birthday, I had turned 19. Happy birthday! Woohoo! It was a great birthday. I had a Bluey themed birthday party. It was fun. I had my friends come over. It was nice. We had barbecue. It was nice. Although it did storm through the entire pool party, so we had to move everything inside. Welcome to New York. So 2 days later, I slip in the shower. But that's nothing new for me. I'm a klutz. I fall on my face all the time. This time was different. I got a concussion. This was my first concussion. This is very scary because I take blood thinners. Which means if I get a concussion, I have a high risk of a brain bleed.
Yeah.
Which means stroke and brain damage and all this stuff, which actually happened to my little sister. Anyway, so we go to the hospital. I was there for 6 hours, and we walked out because of how bad they treated us. And because they didn't treat me, I got post-concussion syndrome, which apparently is a long-time thing.
It is a long time thing.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that
long-time
until
thing.
the other day that it was a chronic illness.
We've discussed this.
So I have post-concussion syndrome because of this.
Yeah.
My twin sister probably has it too.
Mm.
She's had like 3 concussions. But anyway. So, fast forward 2 weeks. I was up all night reading fanfic. And so I slept all day. There's nothing new about that. I'm a night owl. I read on my phone. I scroll on TikTok. I do character stuff. Nothing new. I couldn't stay awake. Like, I woke up at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Mom woke me up for dinner, and I was just like a zombie, like, all day. Like, I couldn't stay awake for the life of me. And I felt sick, but I didn't feel like sick. Like, I felt queasy, but it wasn't like terrible queasy. I'm just like very ever so slightly queasy. It happened so fucking fast. I had no warning. And then I'm on the toilet, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm about to puke. And it's just a fountain. I'm gonna say this in like the most way that's not gonna get me demonetized. Essentially demonetized. But essentially, envision it. I'm not gonna show the picture. I do have pictures because we had to show them to the doctor so they believe us. But essentially, it was a fountain of blood.
Yeah.
Or, as in Markiplier says, in the Iron Lung, an ocean of blood.
Yeah.
So, just imagine it in your head. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was on the toilet, it was on the bathtub, it was on the walls. It was great. And so, my poor mom, so I live in the countryside. We have a huge property, like an acre or so. We ride the golf cart to the archery area. My mom is she's archerying. Archerying. I just made up that word. She's doing archery. And she drove the golf cart down there, and I'm calling mom. And no, I'm very out of it at this point.
You had your watch call your mom.
I had my watch, yeah. My phone was on my bed. And this was before I called mom, but I was wailing for help. Elliot, my sibling, thought I got hurt in the bathroom, since I got a concussion 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
But essentially, I thought my symptoms were still the post-concussion syndrome.
Yeah.
And, so I'm very out of it, and I call mom, and I'm like, Mom, you get your effing ass up here, get up here, like, now. And she's like, I'm coming, Elliot already called me. And I'm just like, ugh. And I'm, like, actively passing out at this point. And, like, there's no color in your face. And, like, my lips were pale. They thought the EMTs thought I was jaundiced.
Right.
Because I was so tan, and then I just had, like, no color.
Yeah.
It's June for me. In June, I'm gonna be tan. So, no, it was July. Anyway, beg to differ.
Yeah, it was July, because we met July.
So, like, My mom walks in the room. She looks at the floor. She looks at me. She's like, fuck. And she's like, oh God. And she's like, I'm calling the on-call team. I'm like, no, just call 911. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna call 911. And so I'm just like, and so she's like, pack a bag. And I'm like, very out of it, like actively passing out, throwing my shit in a bag, like, get in there. And I threw a Gus and a charger in my bag, which, by the way, where is he?
He's right there.
He's got the Gus.
is right there.
But, yeah, so I threw my stuff in a bag. By the time the ambulance got there, like, I was passed out. Like, I was passed out. And, like, my vision was white, my ears were ringing. I was convinced I was dying. Like, I was convinced either my shunt was failing or I was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. I'm gonna cross the river Styx.
Right.
So, I wake up in the ambulance, and I was so mad and out of it. Like, I was yelling, but not yelling intentionally. When you lose a lot of blood, you know, your blood oxygenates your body. When you lose a lot of blood, your blood oxygen's gonna go low. So, I was yelling, not intentionally. I wasn't even aware I was yelling. And they told, like, my blood pressure was 60/40. Or, like, 50/40. It was really fucking low. It was, like, and they're like, yeah, she's crashing. We need to reach her. We need to reroute her to Memorial. And I'm, like, so mad that they're rerouting me to the closest hospital because they treated me so bad the last time with the concussion. And, so I get to the hospital, and they're like, I was in the waiting room in the hallway on the gurney for 30 minutes. Seriously, like 30 to 40 minutes waiting while I was bleeding out. It was so bad. And, like, they couldn't for the life of them get a line in me. Like, I got stabbed during this, like, 10-day stay, like, 30 times. 30. I counted, like, over 20. Because my veins just kept blowing. Because when you lose blood, your veins don't. They were literally considering either a pick or one in my foot if the one that they dabbed didn't work.
I had a pick line at one point.
I had a couple too.
When I was 13.
And so they're like, okay, she's stable enough. We forced fluids into her, and we checked her hemoglobin. It's like 7 right now, which, by the way, your normal hemoglobin is supposed to be 12.
No, 14.
14. My normal hemoglobin's 12.
Yeah.
I'm anemic, so, you know.
Well, for people who bleed a lot, for us, it's normal to be at 12. Like, I usually don't go higher than 12 either.
No, I don't go higher than 12. Like, my latest hemoglobin was 11.
But your normal hemoglobin is supposed to be 13, 14.
Yeah, so mine was at a 7 and going down.
Yeah.
And then when I went to the other hospital, when they transferred me to the hospital that I was supposed to go to, it was 6. And they're like, yeah, you're not leaving. Yeah, you're stuck here. And so I got 2 blood transfusions. I got scoped. I got a feeding tube. It was so traumatic. And I genuinely thought I was dying. And then when we found out that it wasn't my liver, my mom and I, like, when we saw the Doppler on the ultrasound, we were like, we both breathed, like, such a huge sigh of relief. We thought we were going to end up in Chicago again. Which now I know isn't hard to get to, apparently. But anyway, I have lots of internal bleeding. Lots of period bleeding, because my last period sent me to the ER too. We have... Yeah, so lots of bleeding.
Yes.
Mine is the opposite as hers. So, on to this one. I yapped for like 20 minutes there. So
I have severe von Willebrand's disease, type 1. I have very, very, very low functioning platelets. So my plasma just doesn't bind like it should. But I wasn't diagnosed until I was 16.
Yeah.
With VWD1. But my initial symptoms were when I was 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, I was actually at my sister's wedding, and we thought I was sick, like I was really not doing well. The next day I started bleeding, and I was bleeding so bad, so incredibly bad. Now this is over months and months and months. My parents take me to doctors, and they're telling the doctors something is wrong. The doctors are all saying nothing's wrong, they're not doing anything for me. They're not believing my parents. My parents are being accused of Munchausen's. I am stopping going to school. I'm not able to go to school. The school is not providing me with home and hospital. The school is not providing me with any resources for home education. And it's just overall a really bad situation. The boiling point was on Christmas of 2017. My body finally gave out after bleeding so long, because I never stopped bleeding from April of 2016 to December Christmas of 2017.
Yeah.
I never stopped bleeding once. I had no moments where I wasn't bleeding at all. So finally my body just gave out, and
How do you remember this, by the way?
What?
This story. Like, I've heard it multiple times, but how do you specifically remember it?
A lot of it is what's been told to me. There's some of it I remember because I remember, like, certain thoughts.
Yeah.
That, like, just kind of popped into my head. But, so it's Christmas 2017. It's like 2 in the morning. I'm getting up to change my pull-up because I'm drenched in blood. My bed is drenched in blood. Now, keep in mind, we're redoing my room at this point, right?
Santa gave you a nice present that year?
Yeah, life. So at this point, we were redoing my room, which this actually saved my life, because luckily my nightstand was at the end of my bed, so, which is why I mentioned we were redoing my room. So I get up to go change my pull-up, and I pass out. But through the grace of God, I literally pass out onto my nightstand at the end of my bed. So
I thought it was into the trash can.
No, that was in 2021.
Oh.
So I pass out onto the nightstand at the end of my bed, and the doctor said that it shocked my body enough to basically, like, keep my heart going. I restarted my own heart by falling onto the
Wow, that's cool.
nightstand. And so I go to the bathroom. I clean myself up after passing out. My mom was not happy about it. And I woke my mom up thinking I had a seizure. I thought I had a seizure because I've had petit mal seizures in the past. And we thought I was having my first grand mal seizure because seizures run in my family. My brother's an epileptic. We thought, oh great, here we go with the brain issues that come along with Turner syndrome. And also, there was when I was little, a part of my brain that wasn't growing right. So, and we knew that it would affect me at some point. So we were just kind of like, oh, here it is. Great. So we go to the hospital thinking I'm going to be diagnosed with some sort of seizure disorder, like epilepsy or whatever, like my brother. And come to find out, my hemoglobin was a 6 at the time. It was between 3 and 6.
3?
3 and 6, yeah. It was between there, somewhere between there. Because
that's no iron.
Because they essentially immediately transfused me. I didn't go to a trauma hospital. We don't have a trauma hospital here. I have to get flown out to a trauma hospital.
Yeah, she got to ride in a helicopter.
But I was basically immediately transfused because they didn't want to transfuse me. They literally did not want to transfuse me. Like, I was dead. Like, I was literally legally dead for a bit. And they didn't want to transfuse me, but they ended up transfusing me really fast.
Just like squeezing it in there.
Pretty much, yeah. They were trying to get as much.
Did they ever use the rabbit infuser on you?
I think so, if I remember correctly from what I was told. But no, they were trying to get blood in me as fast as possible because I was actively crashing. we thought I was having seizures. And I'd had
Haha, psych.
yeah.
That's me.
We thought I'd had multiple seizures. No, I was bleeding out and I was dying. I was actively dead. And then, so, finally the Lifelight team gets there because they had to wait for the clouds to go in order to fly. They literally could not come get me.
Oh my gosh.
They had to wait. And
That's
so,
like me with the thunderstorms.
yeah. So I'm at a non-trauma hospital dying. And anyway, they come and get me. I'm in the ICU. The attending OB-gynecologist comes in and basically says, well, either you have a blood disorder or you have leukemia. You're going to meet a lot of people really fast.
We love that.
Yeah. And they literally thought I had leukemia, but I don't have leukemia. Thank God.
Goodness.
I have von Willebrand's disease. So,
What does that mean? What does von Willebrand's disease do?
well, it's when you have low von Willebrand factor, which is in your plasma.
Clotting factor.
It's clotting
It
factor.
what clots your body.
It's what clots your blood. Yeah.
This is funny here, guys, because I can't not clot.
Yeah, and I can't clot.
She can't clot. I can't not clot. So when you mix the two together, it's just a big bloody mess.
Yeah.
And we are gonna have
It's
to
a
have a
huge mess.
lot of blood stop in our house when we're together.
So basically, after my ICU stay, I get released from the hospital, and I get referred to the cancer center, for obvious reasons. And, so this referral takes forever. Like, I don't actually get seen and diagnosed from that point of 2017 to the point of 2021.
Guys, that's 4 years.
So it took forever because, yeah, I think COVID had a little bit to do with it.
It definitely had to
A
do
little bit. There's not many excuses, but I think a little bit to do with it. But anyway, so basically, after my ICU stay, I came back like 2 different times for blood.
Now here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
The bleed that I'm thinking of,
Mm-hmm.
was that when you were diagnosed?
That was after, yeah. That was
after.
after I was diagnosed. We knew because they gave me factor. They gave me hematite P. So, but these people in 2017 didn't know to give me hematite P, and then in 2018, they had no clue to give me hematite P at all. Because they didn't know what was wrong with me. They just knew I had a bleeding disorder. I had not been tested and diagnosed yet.
Because it takes forever.
Because it took forever.
It takes forever for that type of stuff, guys.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it took forever. Which I was really lucky because the average timeline is like 16 years to get diagnosed with VWD.
You hear that, guys?
So I was really lucky. They
16
fast-tracked me.
years.
Yeah, they fast-tracked me basically.
This one needs to be figured out right now.
So, but my endocrinologist was handling my bleeding disorder at this point for years.
Mine does currently.
And my OB-GYN. So, but anyway, I went back for blood multiple times. I had a period of like 3 months where I was in and out of the hospital for blood. And then 2021 I finally got diagnosed. They told me I was mild. And
at the time.
they told me I was mild, and they said how lucky I was and that this is what you want to have and it's so treatable, whatever.
Psych.
Yeah. Transexamic acid, if I don't have
TXA.
Yeah, TXA. If I don't have desmopressin paired with the Lystata or transexamic acid, as it's otherwise known, if I don't have desmopressin,
She'll explode.
I won't stop bleeding.
She'll explode.
yeah, I won't stop bleeding my blood. It doesn't work for me if it's not collaborative.
Spontaneously combust.
Yeah, but and then I'm also on self infusions. So for hematite P, as needed, of course. That's not like an everyday thing. I'll develop inhibitors if I do. Um, that's not even like a weekly thing either. It sometimes, depending on how heavy my period is, we can schedule it to where it's like, okay, we're gonna do it at this point of much bleeding, right? At this rate of blood loss, we're gonna infuse. So we can schedule it, but most of the time it's just kind of as needed. And if something really bad were to happen, I can take it. Because I have my big stick, because I go to camp promotion, and so I know how to self infuse. I started learning to self infuse because I don't live close to the hospital. And so, literally, every time by the time we go from the emergency room to my main hospital, I get flown out, or I get advanced life supported out. Like almost always, I end up having blood. I end up having to have blood. So that's what really motivated me to start doing self infusions and learn how to save my own life, essentially.
And also, I'm gonna have to learn at some point.
Yeah, and Emily's gonna have to learn.
That's if I get accepted to camp promotion as well.
You'll get accepted. But anyway, so yeah, that was how we found out I had a bleeding disorder. And then I have a very severe case of type 1.
Basically, the most worst kind you can have.
The most, well, no, that's type 3. But I am like a really extreme case of type 1. I bleed really bad. I am always bleeding. I experience joint bleeds. I experience vaginal bleeding, obviously. I don't know if you can say that word. Oops. But I experience that kind of bleeding. This is for educational purposes, okay? Full disclosure. And then I have, like, literally just all kinds of bleeding.
If you bleed from it, she bleeds from it.
I have
Same here.
Yeah, I have joint damage in my jaw. I have to have jaw surgery because of it, and the Turner syndrome bone issues. I've bled into like almost every joint you can think of. I had to stop doing sports because of it.
She was a gymnast.
I did self-taught gymnastics, yeah. And I did swim. I was on swim team. It was my whole life. I loved swim team. But I couldn't continue because of the bleeding.
Sadness.
Yeah. Although now, it's ironic that I have to do swimming for physical therapy. I just can't competitively swim anymore.
I beat her in a swim race.
Yeah. Emily did beat me in a swim race. We tied 2 times though, so it's fair.
Come at me, bro.
But yeah, I have nosebleeds really bad. My gums bleed.
Mine too.
When I brush my teethers. Even though I brush my teeth every day, I floss every day, I rinse with mouthwash, I do all the things that the dentist tells you to do. And they just tell me that, oh, you never brush or floss your teeth, do you?
No, for real.
And I'm like, yeah, I literally do. I just have a bleeding disorder, guys. Chill.
Guys, it ain't that deep.
It ain't that deep. Yeah. But that was literally how we found out I had a bleeding disorder. I tried to die at my sister's wedding the day after her wedding. And, then I got life flighted out almost a year later. I was in the ICU for 2 weeks. I don't remember basically anything in the ICU. And keep in mind, this happened like multiple times. Basically, not exactly the same thing, but the bleeding out and going to the ICU and passing out everywhere. Because
she previously mentioned that she thought she was having seizures.
yeah. We were far off from having.
And then there's me.
Who has seizures?
I have non-epileptic seizures and tics. Usually you'll know when I'm gonna have a seizure because I get really ticky before one.
Yeah.
And apparently I have a smell.
She does have a smell, and I know what it smells like. I smell you because I know what your seizures smell like. Who needs a service dog when you have a service Shaharah?
A service fiance.
A service fiance.
Anyway, yeah, so essentially, a lot of stuff goes wrong
Yeah.
when you have Turner syndrome. But
and bleeding disorders.
when you collide them,
It's a medical mystery.
I'm
We're
gonna say a
zebras.
medical hell, but you know, there's that.
It's a medical hell and mystery. We're zebras.
Zebras?
Zeros.
Zebras.
Zeros! Can you tell we watched Zootopia 2?
I watched part of it. I need to finish it. We should watch that tonight, guys. But anyway, I think that about wraps up our first podcast. It has been a very long episode. This is apparently concussing each other.
This is us concussing each other.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was long, but welcome to Kaleidoscope and Emily's podcast adventures.
Yay!
Yes, queens. Bye, y'all. Thank you for watching.